Hi, this is Srilekha from Voice of Cargo and Logistics, and we have Mr. Dey from FFFAI, the Honorary Secretary here. And with regards to all the changes happening in multimodal logistics and the overall changes, we need to know what he thinks, his insights, and his visions, and the challenges which needed to be addressed immediately. As we say, we are vocal, so we want to reach everybody and we want to bring these challenges to the authorities that we need this to achieve that 2030 and 2047 benchmark we have provided, that it has to be a China plus. India has to evolve as a leader. Sir.
First of all, thank you. Thank you for having me here. One thing is very important today. That is that we do not know what is going to happen tomorrow. So, in today's scenario, the biggest challenge is to be resilient. We must be resilient because you do not know what is happening tomorrow. Iran US pact, deal, understanding, you do not know whether that deal will go through or not. We know there's a deal. But what we do know is that whatever we are thinking today is not going to happen tomorrow. So the only solution to that is that we have to be resilient. And to be resilient, we have to structure our processes in such a way that should be able to adapt to those changes, to those challenges, to those disruptions, whatever it might be coming that way. That's number one. Number two, as far as customs is concerned, the mindset of each and every person working in the customs formation and our fraternity has to change. We have to think ourselves as a person who is doing self-assessment. I am doing the role of customs. We as custom brokers have to think that if I was customs, whether I would file this document, whether I would get this cargo through. And on the other hand, customs officials should be more judicious. That is the word I would use. So what we have is something which we call the letter of the law, and on the other hand, what we have is the spirit of the law. Today's scenario, it is very important that customs department focuses on the spirit of the law, because disruptions and situations are such, letter of the law will directly contradict what is going to happen. So they must be judicious, they must follow the spirit of the law, give priority to spirit of the law, and we have to be think as a customs department only, that we have to do what the job does. So getting these in place is the biggest challenge which I see. Otherwise, everything will be smooth.
How Mr. Garg said, as not two different entities, but as a combined front, we have to come to a platform where both the parties can work together for smoothening and faster, making it faster, the processing. Then only it can be achieved.
Yes. So the buzzword today, or the big takeaway, I would say from this conclave, is the fact that the more efficient we are, the more invisible we are.
Yeah.
That is a big takeaway from this conclave.
Yes.
So our members, if you think that you are ignored, that means you are efficient. If you think you are invisible, no one cares about you, no one talks about you, that means you are efficient. If people give you value, that means you are inefficient.
So it's like, smoothening, it's kind of like, as Mr. Garg said, it's like heart of the system.
Yes,
So
yes.
it runs within, but it's not visible, but it has to be there to run it smoothly and in a tandem with the authorities.
So the mindset, the trust base, that I trust the department trusts me. Today there was this officer who used to say that, look, you have imported a container which is 40 feet in depth. I am only seeing 2-3 feet. I am giving you a out of charge. What means it out of charge of customs. So that is not my examination, that is not my assessment. My assessment is I see the importer, I see the quality of document, I see the custom broker, and that is how I assess. I cannot assess by looking at the cargo because it's 40 feet long. I cannot go creep inside 40 feet
Yeah,
and see.
of course.
So that is most, and doing that, to do that, one has to be judicious in nature, has to be able to assess in the true sense of the word assess. Now we are using हम लोग का bill of entry, the document we file, we say we have to get it assessed. It's a very common word, but the true sense of assess is that we have to assess the whole thing
in an actual way,
in
so
an
that it's
actual
a
way.
faster, so that there is no back and forth.
Yes.
Now what's happening, if you do not have the full information, it's always a back and forth going on.
So here another thing which is becoming a big challenge is the non-tariff barriers which are coming up. Tariff barriers, duty structures, all simplified. But there are many non-tariff barriers which have been put in place by what we call the participating government agencies, PGAs.
So
Food
simplification,
safety,
yeah. So there's a little,
PIs, legal metrology, all these agencies have given customs their bit of the law, that your customs we are implementing within our country, but at the gate you implement our law. So that is becoming a non-tariff barrier because there's a lot of misreading of their law. Customs officers are expert in their law, but there's a lot of ambiguity in their law.
Their law.
So that is what is getting stuck in today's.
so that simplification is very important. So
Not
that
simplification, instant clarification.
instant clarification. Okay.
That if custom officer says this is applicable, whether a BIS would come and say yes this is applicable or no this is not applicable. So there's a clarification which is required, and it is required
Instantly. So faster,
Yes.
clarification.
So they
will-
must be able to have port officers in the various port locations. They cannot sit in a centralized office in Delhi and control something at Nhava Sheva or Chennai or Calcutta.
There has to be a localized port officer
Yes.
who knows these in
Yes.
and out.
And who would be able to give instant clarification whether this
So
is
that's
compliant or not.
resolved time.
At the time, at that time, because see, all these questions come up when I'm going to take out the cargo from the port and I have 20 trucks waiting outside,
So it's delayed for
and
that
then
reason.
the question comes, and that resolving that question takes at least 10 to 15 days. You expect my 20 trucks to wait for 10-15 days?
And
No.
that's where the backlog
Yes.
comes from. Right, sir. Thank you. Thank you
Thank
for
you
your
very
time, sir.
much.
Thank you.